Okay, so I've got my yellow and my red here. Now I'm just going to go straight out of the bottle on this one because I feel like it's going to go a lot faster. So I'm going to squirt some yellow down there. I'm going to squirt some red up here. So this kind of reinforces the practice that you were doing earlier. I like to start with the lighter color first, just like I was describing earlier. And as long as you do this fairly quickly, it shouldn't mess your paper up too much. Like I said, I don't have high quality paper here. It's just sulfite drawing paper. Like if you had a sketchbook or poster board, whatever, it would work really well. So I'm just laying that yellow across, and then the whole idea is I want to keep it wet when I start to blend my red in. That way I've got a good gradation of my warm colors. So, and I would lay down some extra paper or something. I usually don't use newspaper because all the print seems to get into the color for some reason. But basically I'm just going to work my yellow or my red into my yellow. And it's totally okay to have these brush strokes. In fact, sometimes it comes out really beautiful to have those brush strokes, so if you like them, leave them. But the main thing is the gradation, like good yellow to orange to red. And you want to get the whole thing painted. So now I'm just going to kind of start a pretty rapid back and forth thing. And then I think I'm going to let it go. So at this stage I'm going to wait till it's totally dry. I'm going to set it aside. Okay. So now I'm ready to start my green, blue, and violet. It's going to be a little more difficult because I've got to mix those, and so I want it to go this way to make the project work right. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is try to get a good violet. And of course I want to start with a red first. I'm going to use a kind of big brush. So I'm going to lay that red down, kind of a good swatch in here. And the reason this is a good one for kids, like this is a great lesson plan. It's one that I've done for years with some variations on it and stuff. The kids get that whole color mixing idea, and they get to experiment with the primary and what it takes to get those primaries to look like good secondaries. And so set a little bit of blue on top of this. I'm going to go back and forth until I feel like it looks like a nice violet. It may end up more of a red violet or a blue violet, but again, it's going to be a nice color regardless. Brush strokes are totally cool with this. I'd keep them if you like. I really like this violet. That works out. Okay. So down the middle, I'm just going to go with the straight up blue. That way it'll blend in with my violet. So I'm going to move to a new brush for that one. And my blue is kind of cheap. You can see it's, you can see through the paint. Like I said, I don't buy like the most premium paints. Just can't on a shoestring budget when you're teaching art, but it'll work. So it looks pretty good. I'm done with that. Next thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of yellow down here. And I already have some blue in my brush, so I might as well just go ahead and spread that yellow with the blue brush, because I'm going to end up with some green regardless. I may not even have to add any blue over the top of this yellow to get a good green. Just pull some of the blue that I had before in here. The main thing is that you don't get red in with that yellow and blue, or you're going to get like a pretty gross green. It's going to end up actually really neutral, like tan or brown or something. So I think I'm down with that. That looks pretty good. There's going to be some good brush strokes in here, but now it's time to let all this stuff dry and clean my brushes.